Hello, my friends! Happy spooky month. It's actually September for me, but it's fine. Who's gonna know? No one. Who's gonna tell them? Exactly. Anyway, so this game is a point-and-click horror adventure thing. Little secret. I actually have an old channel that I spent like 6 years working on with like music and stuff, and it was really difficult, so I gave up, but I played a few games on there too. I played the prologue, which was its own thing, on my other channel, but that was like 2 years ago, and I completely forget pretty much everything. So I figured it'd be more fun to play with you guys anyway. So here we are. It's a nice little way to start off Halloween. I really like Halloween, so expect a lot of horror videos and those kinds of things. I hope you like them. But anyway, yeah, let's get started. I have 2 drinks, so if you see me drinking 2 different drinks, that's why. Don't question it. One of them's coffee, one of them's Mountain Dew. I can't possibly have enough energy. And if you like my video style, you might like this, because I'll be narrating these as well. The wind clawed at my window all night long. It wandered the fields and howled like a hungry beast. An endless song weaved from all sorts of voices, shrill, gentle, sneery, twinned in the air. They were shouting and laughing, and arguing about something. Someone was running through the snow while casting long shadows that would occasionally creep close to my bed. Our house had a mind of its own, the creaky old mind of a building that had seen a lot in its days and was seemingly trying to share its wisdom with the inhabitants. The lonely house faced the forest, and the dark green thicket gazed back with its hollow eyes, rustling, whizzing, swaying back and forth. One could come out and stand at the edge of the forest to reassure themselves. There was nobody behind the crooked trees. Fuzzy silhouettes swaying in the wind couldn't possibly do any harm. It's just a play of light and shadow. I have a cat named Shadow. Just a play. I knew it was my imagination. I was already 12, after all. Still. Ooh. I remember, one of the main things I remember about this game is I love the visuals. They are so cool. The art style and just, like, the way things move. I just love it so much. Episode 1, The Owl Will Arrive. I don't remember either of their names. What the heck? I didn't expect her to talk. 1 second. Let me just... None of you get to speak. I'm the only one who gets to speak here. Hush you. Thank you. How rude of them, right? Anyway. Hey, put away your book. How many times have I told you not to read at the table? It's bad for your health. Look at how slouched you are. Shut up, Mom. I do what I want. Okay, fine. I guess I'll hide it. I didn't protest and put the book about Conan the Barbarian aside. Actually, I did protest. I was stuck on a line I couldn't understand after reading it 3 times anyway. Olya had already finished her breakfast and was munching on some cookies. She was so enthusiastic, she almost looked like your typical girl from the commercials. You're not going anywhere until you finish all of it. I, on the other hand, was still trying to drill a hole in the plate with my eyes, as if it would make the porridge disappear. Why are you eating porridge on a plate? Hazy anxiousness welled up inside, all because of the previous sleepless night, the black forest around our house, and the gloomy wind. Like, look at that ice. Just like, I'm assuming it's ice, like, frosted under the windows. It's so nice. And the art is so good, and I love it so much. The longer I waited, the colder the lumpy white substance became. It looked like a jellyfish from the Cousteau Odyssey. I love that show. I don't know what that is. I wonder how horrifying the bottom of the ocean is. Ha! I know the answer to that. Horrible. I'm terrified of the water, but... Eesh. I wonder how horrifying the bottom of the ocean is. Look, man, just don't go down there. Or how cold the Black Forest is at night. The spoon fell out of my hand. Mom showered me with a cold glare from her green eyes. Oh, listen, I'm sorry. What did I just say? I don't remember. I'll get it. I had 10 seconds to catch my breath before battling the nasty porridge once again. I felt around for the spoon. What is this, carved on the other side of the table? I don't know. Karina. Karina. Huh, that's my mom's name. Well, that's actually kind of close to my mom's name, so sure, we'll go with it. I guess she carved it out with something pointy when she was little. She sure was a rascal, damaging the furniture like that. Oh, you little rascal. She would scold me for a week if I did something similar, though. Should I remind her about it? No, she's been in a bit of a bad mood lately. I imagine her being my age, sitting under this table. I wonder, was Mom afraid of the dark back then? Probably, I feel like most kids are. Or the sounds coming from the attic. What is in your attic? Or the thick of the forest. Oh, hello, old grandmother lady. I imagine my grandma coming into my little mom's room, sitting at the edge of her bed, where Olya sleeps nowadays, and saying this in her soft, smooth voice. My old lady voice is bad, so I won't even subject you to that. Taiga is a special place, little girl. It's watching you closely, sniffing you out, trying to discern what kind of beast you are. If you're a good sort, it won't abandon you in times of trouble. But if you're a bad apple, it'll grab you by the side and drag you under the ground. That is frightening. And that would be it. Grandma was caring. She never fought with anybody, never yelled, never swore. Not like me. I swear a lot. So, slap me if I do that in this video, because YouTube doesn't like that. Just go like, you know? Thanks, appreciate it. Those were the times without the maddening screams until late at night, without smashed dishes and mutual accusations. Our parents used to love each other back then. Oof. That sucks. Well, it sucks that they don't love each other anymore. I remember listening in on one of their conversations by chance. They were talking about Grandma getting prepared for her funeral. She had already bought a casket. That's a good idea. At least that way you get to pick your own casket. And she called it her cute funeral box. Sure. It waited for its time in the closet, patiently. Why do you have a coffin in your closet? Does that even fit? Like, would that fit? I feel like that wouldn't fit. Well, it might, but it'd be a pain to get in there. It was black, upholstered with meat-colored material on the inside. I saw it when my grandma was getting buried. The house didn't change since the time she was alive. Only all of the photos were gone. Glass-covered pictures with gray faces of my ancestors. They all had a dead but watchful look in their eyes. That's weird. I thought they moved. I must be remembering wrong, because I thought they, moved to a new house. But, I mean, I guess not. I crawled out from under the table. Olya was done with her cookies, and was looking at my share like a sly woodland critter. You back off. Those are Mac cookies. I turned my gaze towards the frosted window. There was a lot of dark pine outside, but they didn't grab my attention. The pattern of frost formed a picture on the glass. It's a fox. It's so cute. We have a lot of foxes where I live. A bunch of them died like a year or two back from mange, if you know what that is. But I saw one. I think it was last week or something. I was really excited because they're starting to come back, which is nice. It's always good to see them recover from their tussle with the plague, I guess. Olya, look, it's a fox. Where? It looked almost like those optical illusion thingies they put on the back of student notebooks. A mixture of lines at first glance, but if you blur your vision a little bit and look at a certain angle. Not outside, on the window. Look, here's the nose, and here's... Hey, eat up. Yes, just a moment. It's an oddly professional thing for, what is he, 11, 12-year-old to say? I don't see anything. Hurry up, there's not much left. Ah, there it is. But it still doesn't look like one. What do you mean? Are you blind? And I'm telling you it does. Yeah, you tell her. Nuh-uh. It does. Stop it. These kids, I swear. Now I couldn't see the fox either. Where did it go? Come back. It disappeared. Went away. Only the frosty patterns, similar to stretched out nettle leaves, kept creeping up the glass. My dad entered the kitchen with long, measured steps. You know, honestly, that guy, neither of you two really look like my parents, but you are kind of named like my mom, so I will accept you two as my authority figures for this game. I want to have a beard like his when I grow up. Mom would always ask jokingly, "Come on, shave it off, it stings." It stings? You a porcupine? This was so long ago. Nowadays, rumbling doors and witty comebacks were an everyday occurrence. Olya always covers her ears whenever she hears something like, "What's the point in all this?" through the wall. "It's all for your sake," Dad would reply, "for the sake of our family." I always caught every sound in fear of hearing the deadliest word that started with a D. Death. Oh. Divorce, that makes sense. D-I-V-O. I don't even want to finish it. It was scary to imagine that me and my little sister could be torn apart and taken into two different families. Yeah, that would suck. I can't imagine that. That's terrible. Anyway, your fox is nothing. I have an owl on my window. You and your owl talk again. You said you believed me just yesterday. Has anybody seen my car keys? Oh, what a sidestep. I remember leaving them on the windowsill. Right. Maybe you did, and maybe not. You're a grown man, a father of two, and still... Karina, please, stop. Are you gonna bug him for losing things? I lose things constantly. Just let me get ready in peace. Your keys are in the basket near the phone. Well, thank you very much. Anton, stop making a martyr of yourself and finish eating already. But the owl... There was no owl. But there was one. It had giant glowing eyes. Oh, she's so cute. Olya sprung up from the chair and placed her hands on her little face, imitating a pair of eyes with her fingers, like this. The size of an apple each. Oh, like this. Last year you had Bobby in your... What? Glossary. Oh, interesting. Last year you had Baba in your closet, and now this owl? What's this? The glossary. Is this for words I don't know? Oh, interesting. Baba, in Slavic folklore, a nocturnal spirit used by parents to threaten their ill-behaving children. Fair enough. Why was she in your closet? Were you being bad? But I saw it. Olya shifted her gaze back and forth from Dad to Mom to me, but couldn't find any support. I believe you, because this is a horror game and you're probably telling the truth. Have you ever thought about befriending it? You know, like feeding it with imaginary mice? Don't bully our girl. She's just afraid to sleep alone because she's still little. Olya pouted her lips in rebellion and rushed into the hallway. The staircase that led to the second floor creaked. I don't know if it's just me, but when she does like her hands on her hips, to me it looks like she's doing this. She looks like she's just like, I don't know, it's just something about that pose. Mom Dave. Yeah, that's her. Mom gave Dad a strict look. Oh, that look in her eyes. It's so uncomfortable to be pinned under it. Dad just snorted in reply and laughed, ringing with the keys he had just found. A minute had passed, and the theme song from The Little Mermaid echoed through the house. I haven't seen that movie in forever. I just watched Snow White last night or something? The day before? Anyway. Wow, it is old. Just like looking at it, seeing the kind of jumbled plot, but it was cute. I liked it. I'm a sucker for the classics. It was stored on incredibly worn out cassette tape. It was stored on an incredibly worn out cassette tape, which Dad had already glued together once. You can do that? Neat. It's so easy to fix objects by gluing them back together, for example. Who dares mow their lawn at this hour? What time is it? 5:13 p.m. Okay, that's kind of fair. But, like, why do you do this to me? Man, I hope you can't hear that. But how do you fix a relationship? Mom moved to the living room, and I was left alone, anxiously stealing glances at the window. I can't even close my window because my air conditioning unit is in it. Give me 1 sec, I'm gonna try to close it. The deed is done. The lawnmower has been silenced. Permanently. No, I'm just kidding, I just shut the window. Anyway. Olia had trouble sleeping ever since we moved to this house. Oh, they did move to a house. Why did I think they didn't? I can't remember. Oh yeah, because they said something like the furniture is the same. I guess they could have brought their furniture. She would toss and turn or curl up into a ball under her blanket. Sometimes she would jump up in the middle of the night and turn on the VCR. Cartoons helped her to take her mind off all the troubles we had with the move and our parents. Oh, hello. Poor baby lip quiver. And then Olia said she saw that giant flying monster outside her window. That is a big owl, I will give you that. That is massive. She became obsessed with it. Our parents did everything in their power. They tried every little trick to get rid of those ridiculous fears. Olia refused to sleep alone and didn't believe that the owl was just one of her nightmares. After last night, I was unsure what to make of my sister's words, what to think of it myself. Can nightmares be infectious? That night, I couldn't get a wink of sleep and ended up thinking of what to expect from my new school. There were a couple of days left before the beginning of a new term. I seriously need to get my bangs cut. If I leave them naturally, look, I can't, I can barely see. I can see, here, but it's getting really annoying, and I don't like how they look when they're like this. But I have $5 till this Thursday, so unless I want to do a hack job myself, I'm just gonna have to deal with it. My imagination drew long, twisting hallways that led to a classroom full of kids. But all the students behind their desks were simply dark figures, cut out using a template. Circular holes gaped in the middle of their faces, and pairs of eyes blinked inside those holes. It was as if some completely different creatures were looking at me from behind the flat, black silhouettes. Freaky. Their cruel glares, filled with icy sneers, made me shiver from head to toe. Will I survive here? Won't they gang up on me and beat me down? Stomp on me with their bloodied shoes? Yikes, what was school like for you, child? The damn school can burn for all I care. I just wished for anything to happen to it. Doesn't really matter what. I didn't want to go there that badly. I didn't want to see people who were just itching to smack me on the head, trip me up, think of a new offensive name for me, worse than the previous one. I felt like the glasses I wore made me an outsider, or some kind of monster. Are you bullied just because you wear glasses? What the frick? That does not count as a swear. Put your hand down. My gaze slid across the drawings hanging on the walls. I couldn't consider myself a great artist, but Olia begged me to hang them. Drawing was the only thing that made me happy as of late. The small circle of friends I had also enjoyed my paintings. Are they drawings or paintings? And they promised to call me from time to time. Sometimes I imagine Mom picking up the phone and saying in a cold voice, "You've got the wrong number." Or, "Anton is not around." Anton is not around. I imagine my future classmates lying in their beds, just like me, listening to the howls of invisible werewolves outside their window. Maybe my new classmates will like me after all? But who would ever like a boy with thick glasses? You poor kid! I mean, my dad used to wear glasses when he was little, and now he's married to the most beautiful woman on the planet, my mom. That's adorable, you're so sweet. The house creaked, pressed by the wind. The condo we used to live in, a 9-floor concrete building, buzzed with the neighbor's drill. Mumbled with the TV set from behind the wall, cried like a baby from the big family next door. I hear something in the headphone. What? It sounds like a baby. I guess that's probably intentional. Oh no, it's just creaking. Okay, that's fine. Our current house, though I can't really call it new, was completely different. It was silent and easygoing during the day. Its shadows lay dormant in the corners, on the closet, cobwebs, and under the stairs. But they all woke up during the night. Something was watching me from every corner, almost as if the old photos of my deceased family, with their ashen eyes, were hanging on the walls in place of my drawings. I don't know, that looks like a triceratops to me. The floor was squeaking. Oh wait, is that a figure? I can't even tell now. That looks like... Oh, well, that's not a drawing, so fair enough. Whoopsies. The floor was squeaking, rusty drains were moaning, the attic was occupied by noisy drafts. One could think the house was performing some sort of demonic melody. It sounds like it literally is. But I kind of love it. And then I realized I was, in fact, hearing music. Oh, okay. It was already playing for a good while. Somewhere at the edge of my perception, I could hear a flute. Don't follow it into the woods. Isn't that one story, Pied Piper? Is that the flute guy? Probably. It was mixed in with the sound of the wind, of the creaking old house, and my thoughts too. I stood up and rushed to the window. I wanted to reassure myself that this music was nothing more than a product of my imagination. It's not like someone is playing it there amidst the cold, snowy night, right? Oh, yeah, okay. Right, here we go. Is there anything? No. Oh, what the frick? Oh, I remember this! That's a bear. That's some kind of horrible bird monster. Wolf, question mark? Other wolf? And, Groot. Someone was dancing in the field. Someone? Yup. Black silhouettes I could barely make out, with the dark forest as their backdrop. They jumped around, basked in moonlight, bumped into piles of snow, rolled around and crawled on all fours. Stories about wolves playing under the moon came to mind, but these were clearly not wolves. Well, two of them kind of look like they are. They stood upright at times, circled and holding hands and whipping up snow, disappearing into the shadows for a brief moment and then coming back. Something bizarre was going on. No shit! I swore, it's fine. Just, pretend that didn't happen. Shadows dancing in the starless abyss made my imagination go wild, making me anxious at the same time. Suddenly the music had stopped, and they all stopped moving. They see me, don't they? The dancing shadows froze in place, and I could swear pierced me with their eyes. That's not good. One of the silhouettes immediately parted from the bizarre shadow carnival and sprinted across the field with giant leaps. Oh boy. Ooh, hi. Go away, please. I'm just a small boy. It glided on squeaky snow without leaving any prints until it was devoured by the pitch-black shadow of my house, which became even darker and thicker. My heart was jumping around like the bird inside a cage. I shut the curtains with a swift motion and stepped back towards the bed. They saw me. Yeah, I think so. A freezing torrent of fear washed over me. I stood in the middle of a perfectly dark room and listened to some unwanted guest move and scrape around, looking for an entrance. That's not good. Start screaming. Call your mom. Or probably your dad. He looks a bit buffer. I mean, I feel like your mom could probably wield a kitchen spoon like no other, though. The sound moved to the right, then circled around the house. Now my guest should be at the front door. I jumped into the bed and covered myself with the blankets, as if it could protect me. The shackles of fear locked my muscles. I remembered the funeral, my grandma lying there, hands crossed on her chest, her facial features sharp like that of a tin doll. Ants running up and down the legs of the chair that held my grandma's casket. I imagined those little creatures climbing up her head and pulling her eyelids with their tiny legs. Why? Why is that where your mind goes? Are you okay, kid? Probably not. Then her wrinkly eyeballs would once again move inside their sockets, and she'd be able to see her grandchildren. This is so strange. I was chanting the spell she taught me throughout the whole procedure, and now, lying under the blanket and listening to the squeaks and howls, I was repeating the same words. On the island of Bouillon, underneath the blemished sun, in the sea of color blue stands a cabin made of wood. There lay lard and ashen hair, for the spawn from Devil's Lair, to feast and always leave alone, God's faithful servant named Anton. Well, that's a convenient poem. It has your name in it. Was that in the glossary? No, it wasn't. Evil leave this house must. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. I didn't know you were blonde. I thought his hair was brown before. Am I crazy? Bizarre sounds had disappeared. I cautiously peeked out from under the blanket and saw curtains waving around like a hanged man. And then the night doused me with a new portion of boiling terror. Oh no. The sound scratched at my eardrums. In reality, something or someone was scratching at the front door, hurriedly clawing at wood, demanding to be let in. Sorry, we are not looking for cookies today. Please be on your way, child. The door was shut. Dad had become very cautious recently, so he installed a sturdy lock. Good. We'll be fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. I remember him staring at the forest intently, as if he was looking for someone. Does he know something? I wondered. Ashes to ashes. Dust to dust. I hugged my knees, placing my chin between them, and drilled the door with my eyes. It was so flimsy and weak before the night of darkness. And then... Please go away. The doorknob twitched slightly. Please go away. Frick. Oh. And it turned happily once, twice, as if the person who tried to enter had no hands. Maybe it's Olia. She's short. That makes sense, right? Right? The doorknob tilted once more, and then maybe she just can't reach it. Started clicking violently. Please go away. My jaw clamped heavier, and my fingers clutched the window. Did you stick your hand in the water? The door creaked open. The wind taunted me, moaning inside the tin drains. Now, you'll see. See what? The door was wide open. Please go away. The darkness withered inside the carnivorous mouth of the doorway. By the way, I'm actually a major wimp. I love horror, but I'm a wimp. Shut. It was as if the night itself was calling out to me, flapping its black wings and squeaking with rusty hinges. I was trembling, ensnared by the web of darkness that hung in the corners of my room, waiting for the one who weaved it to come out of the gaping black hole. Tony? Like Anton? Tony? My abdomen tightened and my chest rose up, ready to exhale a desperate scream. But before I was able to do anything, the darkness asked me, Tosha, are you asleep? Who's Tosha? Oh, it is Olia. Hi. Come in, it's okay. My sister's pale face protruded from the thick shadows. I almost screamed from relief. Olia? I'm not sleeping. Did something happen? Olia frowned and stuck out her lower lip, a clear sign that she was about to cry. It's there again, staring at me. Sure away, Tosha, please. What does Tosha mean? Is that a word or a name? Is that like a nickname? I don't know. It's not in the glossary, so I guess it's a nickname. It's also capitalized. I'm so scared. The fear that was tormenting me just a minute ago crawled away and hid somewhere in my stomach. I needed to calm Olia down. It was just a dream, silly. Don't be scared. Dreams don't bite. No one's going to harm you. Unless somebody breaks in, but I mean, hey, Dad installed a sturdy lock. It's fine. Olia sobbed. She was trying her best to believe me. But was I sure myself? I sure hope so. I have an idea. Let's go to your room and watch the video Sleeping Beauty, for example. You like that cartoon, don't you? Why does the Sleeping Beauty have a prince and I have this scary bird? That's a fair question. That question took me by surprise, but you're like probably 9 or something. I don't know how old she is. Alright, let's watch Cinderella. My thoughts became tangled, fuzzy. What was that? What studied me with its eyes while dancing feverishly under the moon? The darkness was clinging to the window, and it couldn't be fooled by Grandma's old chants. It couldn't be satisfied with a feast of lard and long ashen hair. Tosha, are you coming? Yes, just a moment. Is that your catchphrase? What the heck? Did you just eat me? I don't remember that. Okay, that's fine. Oh, that was my dream. Oh, right, okay. I forgot he was like, yeah, after last night. I thought that was all, like, present time. Yikes, well, you're still alive this morning, so it's fine. That's why I didn't want to laugh at Olia and her owl in the morning. You could be visiting us here, in the middle of nowhere. We don't know anyone around here. So persistent. I felt extremely unsettled just from a silly thought that our morning guest could have come from the woods. I could barely hear voices coming from the front door. My mind was urging me to hide. In the closet, under the table, behind the curtains where Olia always hides. What curtains? I guess maybe you have curtains on other windows. Tosha, come here. I felt like kettlebells. I don't know what those are. I felt like kettlebells were tied to my feet, but still dragged them towards the hallway. Hello? A couple of policemen towering over me in the doorway. The cops! Shit, they found me. Oh, I said it again. Dang it, I'm losing this game. They smelled like frost and worry. That's a smell. My mom always winced and grumbled the moment she saw patrol cars. Worse than bandits. At the moment, though, she looked somewhat confused. Hello? The senior officer, who wore a grim expression, nodded. The boy has gone missing yesterday. His name is Vova. Look at this, please. Have you seen him? We don't know anybody around here. The policeman held out a photograph to me. Oh, a kitty! Is the kitty okay? That's important. There was a ginger boy around the age of elementary school, pictured with a wall carpet as a backdrop. He had a striped cat in his hands and wore a wide smile. No, I haven't. Are you sure? Look closely. I'm looking pretty close, Chief. I don't think I know him. Where would I see him? I don't know anyone around here. I barely leave the house. Well, maybe you've seen him from the window? That's right. Your window looks straight at the forest. Your windows look straight at the forest, don't they? The window. It was, what was his name? Vova. It was that guy, convening with the werewolves. He's a werewolf. No, I haven't seen anything. I see. He sounds tired, but his eyes, his stare, long and heavy, was full of suspicion. I squirmed unwittingly under the weight of guilt, which his giant shadow cast over me. Did I do it? Did I kill him? Maybe, who knows? The policeman finally tore his eyes from me and glanced over the hallway, the stairway and the cracks in the ceiling, which I haven't noticed before for some reason. How do you like your new place, by the way? Getting used to it? Bit by bit. It's just our little daughter misses the city a lot. I'm guessing this is like Russia somewhere, just from the attire and the names. Like Anton and Olya, that feels... I mean, I'm certainly not an expert, but that's my guess. Bit by bit, it's just our little daughter misses the city a lot. I said that. This is the city, huh? Have the locals been treating you well? Yes, everything is all right. Thank you. The policeman pierced through me one more time with his brown eyes. My head started spinning. Can I help you somehow? I asked that in a shaky voice to look like a polite boy and to end this unpleasant conversation sooner. Now that I think about it, you look just like one of my nephews, little fella. He's a witty boy around your age, wears the same type of goggles. Always engrossed in reading those mystery novels. Told me he wants to enroll in police school when his family visited this summer. Wanted to help other people, just like me, see? I felt uncomfortable, as if a distant relative and not a police officer stood before me. Is this my uncle? You know what? Little boys like you should stay at home, steer away from trouble. The times have changed so much. Mom interjected in a cold voice. You don't say. Well then. What grade are you in, Anton? 6th. Have you made any friends here so far? How old are you in 6th grade? 11? Yeah, well, in Canada at least. I don't know how it works anywhere else. Because apparently it's different everywhere. Rest in peace to you Americans who have to be at school for like 7:30. That sucks. Have you made any friends here so far? Not yet. I'll be going to school for the first time after the break. Then I'll leave you my number just in case. Call me if you have any new info. The police were gone along with their shadows, the smell of cheap cologne and the photo of a smiling boy. His face still stood before my eyes. I wondered what it was like for him, being all alone there. For some reason, I thought of the forest, swaying in the wind. What did his poor parents feel? And what would my parents do if I'd gone missing? Would they cry and thrash around hysterically? Or would they accuse each other like they always do, and forget about me eventually? Mom, this Vova, did he go missing in our forest? Seems like it. Poor child. Oh, cool. I looked out the window at the road. The police, UAZ, drove off towards the village Glossary. A Soviet? It is okay, it's Russia. Oh, that's probably why I thought Russian Slavic folklore. A Soviet and Russian off-road freight passenger car brand, which was produced on the Ulyanovsk, I don't know how to say that, car factory. The officer's nephew came to mind when I was splitting off old paint from the windowsill. I remembered all the teenage mystery novels from the Black Kitty series I've read this summer. What's Black Kitty? Let's see. Glossary, tell us. Black Kitty, a series of contemporary Russian original or translated teen mystery books. Interesting. I read Mary-Kate and Ashley, but some people read Black Kitty, I guess. Don't know why I went a little bit southern there for a second. Your average boys and girls investigated all sorts of mysteries there. They looked for clues, spied on suspicious people, and after a set of amazing adventures, bam, solved any complicated case. They became local celebrities and must have made their parents very proud. I noticed a trail of policemen's footprints that led to the forest, and then it clicked in my head. Why don't I start an investigation of my own? Because that is a good way to get killed in a horror game. That is one reason. Do you want 10 more? Maybe I'll find that lost boy, or maybe you'll find your own death in that forest. Who knows? And I'll get a reward. Olya will be so happy. Or you'll be dead. And not only Olya, Mom and Dad too. Maybe they'll even forget about their quarrels for a while. That's sad. Maybe I'll even save us from the D word. That is really sad. I want to know what that note says, but it's so tiny. I fantasized about buying Olya a Tamagotchi. Oh, this is old then. Quite old. Well, not super old. And getting a cassette player and a bunch of tapes for myself. A whole box of Kinder Surprise. When was the last time our parents bought us any toys? Last autumn, I think. My dad had lost his job at the same time. There's that annoying song about it. What song? Accountant? Oh, that's what it's called. A song by an all-female Soviet pop band by the name of Kombinatsiya. Combination. Oh, okay. That became widely popular in the early 90s. Continue. I had little to no idea what the accountant's job is like. Oh, okay. They count money, I think? Neighbors used to envy us. But nowadays, Mom and Dad barely had money to afford sweets, and Dad would always divide a single chocolate bar between me and Olya. Sometimes I gave her my share too. No matter how much I wanted to eat sweets, she was still just a pipsqueak. I couldn't wait to go out looking for clues. I'm going outside. Yeah, right. You want the police to go around with your photograph next? See? Sensible woman. The forest is so thick. What if the boy got snatched up by wild animals, or something even worse? Even worse echoed through the hallway. I won't go far. I'll stay away from the forest. Did you hear what I said? Or should I repeat myself? Better go pack your school bag or play with Olya. Bossy. The sound of splashing water came from the kitchen. It meant that the argument was over and Mom had the last word. Okay, interesting. I really don't know how long I've been doing this, so I will stop it here for now, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, happy spooky month. I'm so excited for it to be October. I say in September. In my heart, it's October, okay? So yeah, thank you, friends. I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye!